gentlemen, please join me in welcoming who I call Angel Francis. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. That was too long an introduction. I usually use that introduction in order to increase my professional fees. But now that this is given free and I'm not charging, we might as well have short. Our worldview is family, right? That's why every time I go to the Middle East and I address the OFW and I would say, yung mga kabayan natin, alam mo, mahal ka sa atin yung worldview natin, pamilya. At dahil tayo nagsasacrifice, iniwan natin ang pamilya natin sa bansa, pumunta tayo sa Middle East, at meron na naman tayo mga bagong pamilya. Masyado tayo mahilig sa pamilya. Hindi rin pwede yan. Therefore, Gen Y are now strategic positions for leadership. And that's where my concentration on training is. A lot of Gen Y now are taking on responsible work. Generation Z. Let me give you a quick characteristics of Gen Z or the COVID generation. Number one, they are what I will call the Google reflex generation. What do I mean? Habang lumalaki yung mga Gen Y, nagagalit ng mga magulang, mga Gen X. Sabi na, why are you so disrespectful? I'm talking to you and your eyes are always glued to the screen. Because they're fascinated with social media. To be a skill that has to be updated and upgraded. So here's the problem. Parenting. Wow, botong yung, why don't you do? I'm speaking Chinese for your information, by the way. Why should I attend the parenting seminar? I know all that. Really? Maybe that's the reason why the world is so messed up, because they think they already know. Have you ever met people, hindi pa tapos yung sentence mo, I know. Have you ever met people like that? Well, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God, what? With all of your heart, and with all of your soul, and with all of your strength. Next, these commandments that I give you today are to be upon your hearts, and then immediately, what? Impress them on your children. That is the one thing that many parents have failed to do. Negosyo, kumita, way of life. Very strange. In the West, when you interview parents, what are your desires for your kids? I want my children to be happy. And then in the East, usually when you ask parents, what are your desires for your kids? I want my children to be successful. Two different worldviews. Well, one thing we need to realize is that to be happy is not sustainable. Maybe that's the reason why in LinkedIn I see some crazy wannabe gurus posting stuff like, if you're not happy with your job, quit your job. Because you don't deserve unhappiness. Sarap bugbugin yung mga yun. The guy doesn't even understand. You know why he posts things like this? He doesn't have a job. He doesn't understand. And so, I want my children to be successful. On the other hand, what do? You produce tiger moms. Kaya in the morning, magpiano ka. By lunchtime, dapat nagigitara ka na. Mamaya, nagkukukin ka na. Mamaya, nagtataekwondo ka pa. Tapos nagagaling sila. Bakit wala kang ginagawa? Very strange. They all miss out. And by the way, before your kids can be successful, before your kids can be happy, they need first to have resilience. Kung wala yung resilience niya, wala yan. But where is the heritage of the godly life? It has been said that in every church, they're just 1.5 generations away from losing their people. And this is the generation where the young people are growing up to become atheists. And I should know, because the guidance counselors from big schools have been telling me. That should be the legacy that we leave, not your inheritance. And why? My years ahead of me are obviously shorter and lesser than the years behind me. But I'm ready to leave anytime. It's not that sometimes, like the Apostle Paul, my prayer is with all of these things happening now, maybe it's better for me to go home. That's why But then I said, but God is not yet finished. I still have work to do. But if I go ahead of them, guess what? If it's time for them to go, we don't own them. One day, the rightful owner will come and claim ownership. And if they do, guess what? We're going to have our reunion. And that's one reunion that's going to last forever. So who says you can't bring everything with you? You can. And let them bring the legacy of the saving knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ through your prayers, asking that the Father draws them to the Son as they experience the gift of faith, the grace through faith in Jesus. Thank you very much.